Hi guys, this is a quick video lecture to help you guys out with your PE paragraph a little more. I've checked everyone that turned one in so far, and there were a few mistakes that some people were making in their structure. So if you got your feedback and you looked at it and you saw that I mentioned that you're blending stuff like an explanation and an example, then this video is for you, okay? You can really see how you should pull those two apart. There can be some overlap, but not as much as I've seen some people have. So I'm going to talk you guys once again through the point, example slash evidence, and explanation steps of a PE paragraph, and after that, I'll show you a completed PE paragraph that I've made using these steps. Okay. A final point: if you have missed the deadline for feedback, then given these crazy times, I've got time to give you guys more feedback on paragraphs. So I've added one more assignment on the ELO for a review you can turn in for me to check your language and your structure. So if you have missed the deadline, then you just send me a message and I'll see if I can still look at it anyway. Okay. It is important to keep this skill up, as who knows if you'll still have to write a review still. At the very least, it's important for next year. Okay. So, having said all that, here is PEE paragraph structure one final time, explained by me and providing examples as well. Starting out, obviously, when you're writing a review, you should have a thesis statement in your introduction. So what that means is you write a short introduction, as one would for any piece of writing, and that ends with a thesis statement. So that thesis statement is a statement that says basically everything that you want to say in this here review. Mention in one sentence what you think of the movie and why, right? And make sure that you've encapsulated all the paragraphs, or at least the points of all the paragraphs, okay? It might be handy to do that at the last, as a last step, because you want to maybe work out your paragraph first and think, what do I actually think? So let's say you start with that. Let's say you start with your paragraphs. Then, when writing those paragraphs to figure out what should go in your thesis statement, your paragraph should make or have the PE structure. So you first provide a point, then you provide an example of that point, and then you explain that example. So, what is a point? Here's an example. A point, ladies and gents, is the first sentence of your paragraph. It should tell me what the main idea of that paragraph is. Basically, what is the point, right? So, for instance, a paragraph that I could have for that movie that we watched together, Balloon, the superhero kid, a point I could try to make for writing my review could be the following. The child actors in Balloon do a stellar job. That's my point. Okay, it's very simple. It's very short. Don't need to provide any examples yet. This is the point I'm trying to make. Anything else after that you might need to make a good point is going to follow after, but this is the topic sentence, the first sentence of your paragraph that just tells me what you want to say in this paragraph. Why does this paragraph exist? You basically justify the existence of your paragraph. Okay, now obviously this is not enough, because otherwise your review with, let's say, 3 topic sentences would just look like a grocery list. So obviously you need to do more in your paragraph. So you've written down your point, your first sentence, and after that, what you're going to do is move on to example or evidence. Some people prefer the word evidence over example, but it's the same point. After the topic sentence, you provide an example or evidence for that point you're trying to make. So you start writing, how do you know this to be correct? Provide an example or some evidence for your claim. If my topic sentence was, the child actors in Balloon do a great job, then evidence or an example of that could be the following. In the scene under the showers, the main character uses his face perfectly to show how he's torn and thinking of what to do. He captures his emotions perfectly, especially for his age. I've given an example of when the character, the actor, does a really good job acting, basically. So here's an example. No explanation yet. No explanation as to why this makes it a good movie, but that's about to follow. Because after this, you finally give the explanation. What effect does this have? Why does this add to your thesis statement? Why do you choose this example? in my case, having spoken about a scene where I think the child actor does a really good job, the explanation that comes after would be the ability of the actor to convey difficult emotions adds greatly to the quality of the film. Bad acting can take down the best films, and this is anything but bad. This is great, right? So I've explained why that example adds to the quality of the movie. Um, that would finally make the entire paragraph the following. Um, the child actors in Balloon do a stellar job. Topic sentence. Example. In the scene in their showers, the main character uses his face perfectly to show how he's torn and thinking of what to do. He captures his emotions perfectly, especially for his age. There's an example of that topic sentence being the case. Then, just as an explanation, the ability of an actor to convey difficult emotions adds greatly to the quality of films. Bad acting can take down the best films, and this is anything but bad. This was great. So, I provide a topic sentence. Here's my point. Here's my example of that point being the case. And here's me explaining why that point makes the movie good. One thing I could have maybe done to tie it together even better is to add something in the topic sentence about the child actors in Balloon do a stellar job and make the movie great. You could have added that to really tie it all together even better. But this is a P.E.E. paragraph all the same. Make sure that you keep this apart. As you can see, I don't provide an example in my explanation. I don't really provide an explanation in my example, and my topic sentence covers everything, right? It just says, do a good job. Then you provide an example of a job well done, and you explain why that's a job well done or why that adds to the movie. Okay? This is the structure. I hope that's helped you guys out. In the structure a little bit. Make sure that they don't overlap too much. Obviously, you can overlap a little bit, but it's an art to overlap these different structures. So try and keep them apart in the same way I have by really not providing any explanation in your example, not providing any example in your explanation. Just keep that apart. See the colors and keep your structure that way too. Look at your feedback and see if you've done that job, and if not, think about what you could have changed to get this to be the case. And if you're going to write a new review, as I've put on the ELO for, I'm just checking real quick for here, the 5th of April, right? So end of next week. See if you can work on your structure even more. Again, should those deadlines be a bit too much for you in these times, these crazy times, then you could just send them to me as a message. All right? I hope you're all doing well, not getting too stressed or anything like that, and let me know if I can help you out. Send me any messages, either via Teams or via my sister, and we'll keep in contact, okay? All right. Good luck, bye-bye, and see you later.